So are you looking for some high calorie bulking meals that are easy to cook but also low in fat? Stay tuned because I'm going to show you 3 different meals right now that you're going to be able to cook right after this video. So hello and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, if this is the first time you're hearing my horrible voice, then my name is Adam and I am here to help you with your fitness journeys. So why not consider subscribing and leaving a like down below. Now, all that stuff's out of the way, I'm gonna let voiceover Adam take over and I'll catch up with you guys once we've done these amazing meals.
So our first meal is a Italian chicken with peppers and gnocchi. Now this meal is going to consist of chicken thighs. All these meals are going to have chicken thighs in them. And first off, we're going to start by seasoning our chicken. We're going to just salt and pepper it, both sides. This might seem like a lot of seasoning, but most of this will come off in the pan, so don't worry too much about that. We want to put a little bit of garlic olive oil. I mean, you can use basic olive oil in the pan, and then you want that pan to come to heat. You want that to be really hot when you put the chicken in, as that is going to give us the best flavour. It's going to give us some nice colour on the chicken, which is going to give us the nice flavour. Now, when we turn this chicken over, you'll see the crispy sides that we've got. All that in there is flavour, so that is literally the best part of the meal. Like, getting that chicken nice and crispy is the number one priority. And then here we are literally just chopping up some peppers. You can literally use any colour, it really doesn't matter. You can use some sweet peppers as well. Again, it really doesn't matter, whatever you guys fancy. And we're going to add the peppers to the chicken, and we want to leave them for as long as possible just to get a nice colour on them as well. As you can see, a couple of them have got a little bit of nice brown on them. Again, that is flavour. We're going to take these all out of the pan now, and what we'll do once they're all out of the pan is we're actually going to add a little bit of water, and the water is actually going to deglaze the pan. It's a little bit of a chefy term for you people that don't cook, and all that is going to do is just take off that nice flavour that the pan has had while we've been cooking the chicken, and we're going to add that back into the sauce once we have got everything going. So that is pretty much like the best thing to have. Keep that nice and safe. We want that's all the flavour. And then we're going to add our tomato sauce into the pan to cook down. Now this tomato sauce is literally just tomato passata, a nice diced onion, some garlic and some herbs. So really easy to make. You can literally use it if you're making spaghetti bolognese or anything, but you can make this like a couple of days in advance and then just leave it in the fridge. It's really good. It keeps for a pretty long time, keeps for about 3 or 4 days. And then we're going to add the chicken and the peppers back, and then we're going to let that cook out really slowly, and then just let that chicken cook through properly. And then we have got our gnocchi. Now I absolutely love gnocchi. It's actually potato, and a lot of people don't know that it's made out of potato. And then we're literally just going to add this to a pan with a little knob of butter. Now again, you don't really want to move it too much because the gnocchi is going to get quite crisp, but it's going to stay really fluffy in the middle. But when you do shake the pan and when you do flip them and toss them, you'll see how crispy they do get. That is absolutely lovely, and it's actually a really nice contrast to the sauce as well. So definitely really good partnership with this one. Meal number 2 is a creamy chicken and mushroom sauce. Again, we're using the chicken thighs and we're going to be seasoning both sides with salt and pepper. Again, don't worry about over seasoning because this is just going to come off in the pan anyway, but we like to do it nice and thoroughly. Next up, we're going to be chopping about 125 to 150 grams worth of mushrooms. You can again use any mushrooms you like. I just use button mushrooms. And then we've got a whole packet of spring onions. Now I just use a whole packet because they weren't really very big once I ended up chopping them all up. And then we're going to add chop up some cloves of garlic. And you don't have to add the garlic, but again, I like garlic, so I'll chuck a bit of that in any day. Again, a nice hot pan we want for this, and look at that for some caramelization on the chicken. So that is literally the top thing that you want to focus on, getting that chicken nice and crispy. Then we're going to add to the pan a knob of butter with the onions and the mushrooms, and they're going to cook down. Make sure that we move them about to make sure that they're all getting cooked. Then we're going to add the garlic as well to cook off very slowly. Now we are going to be adding some flour to the dish, which will in fact help us thicken our sauce. Now when you add the flour, you want to make sure that it's all cooked. You don't want any raw bits of flour because it really doesn't taste very nice at all. Now once we've done this, you'll know it's ready because you'll start to smell a pastry kind of smell, and it will go quite dark. It will go a little bit brown, so you'll know that's when you are ready to add the stock. And the stock is actually going to turn quite thick because of the flour, which is what we want. This is going to create the sauce, and this is absolutely delicious. Now, as you can see, the sauce has gone quite dark. That is just based on how long we cook it out for. So, next up, to make that sauce go a little bit lighter, we're going to add some 50% less fat cream, which is again really nice. So that actually means we can have more because it's less fat. And usually what I do is have bulgur wheat with this, but instead I decided to go for my Uncle Ben's mushroom rice. Big up Uncle Ben. Again, I use the mushroom rice just because we had the mushrooms in the sauce. Again, really good complementation. But you can literally use any rice you like. Just a normal basmati rice will work fine as well. And our final meal is going to be what I like to call fake KFC. Now this is actually not exactly like KFC, but it's a little bit healthier. We're not going to be chucking loads of oil in. We're not going to be deep frying, but we're going to start off with the seasoning. So first off, we want to get some flour, a tablespoon of cayenne pepper, a tablespoon of chili powder. You guys can add literally as much or as little as you like. It really doesn't matter how much you use. Next up, we've got some smoked paprika. Like I say, I don't know what the recipe is for KFC, but this is the closest thing I've come to matching it. I mean, I've tried quite a few different variations, and I mean, this is like pretty close, but not bang on. Next up, we've got some garlic granules and some celery salt. Now, the celery salt is actually really important. This actually makes it taste pretty much like KFC, but do not add too much because it is quite strong. Again, same with this onion salt, do not add a lot because it is really quite strong. So just little bits on there. I like to usually eyeball this sort of stuff. So I mean, the measurements are going to change for everyone. You can, like I say, you can add as little or as much as you like. Then we've got some oregano and some just normal salt and pepper, which is just basic really. Then we're going to give it a little mix, and then we shall be coating our chicken in this little flour spice rub, whatever you want to call it. Again, you can leave your chicken sitting in this for a little bit. It really doesn't make much difference. You could do 2 coatings of this actually as well. You could dip it in egg and then add more flour. It really doesn't matter. And then this one is actually really important. This is for the KFC gravy. Now, the trick to this is to actually have a chicken stock cube and a beef stock cube, and that is what makes the KFC gravy taste like it does. Then, unlike the other 2 dishes, we actually want to start the chicken off in a cold pan, because if we have the pan too hot, it's going to burn the flour, it's going to make it taste horrible, and then you'll basically have to just start all over again. So you start it off in a cold pan, let it come to temperature, and then as you flip it, it's going to be nice and crispy like you just saw. Also, we're not going to be cooking the chicken in the pan for the whole time because the flour again will burn. So what we're going to do is change that over to an oven-proof dish and whack that in there for about 15 minutes. Probably gas mark 5 or 6 will do. Again, it's going to crisp up in the oven, so it's going to be extra nice. And here is the start of the KFC gravy. We're going to add our flour mix with some butter to the pan. And then, like I said before, you'll know when it's ready because you'll smell like a pastry kind of smell, and it will go quite dark. And then that is when you know you are ready to add your stock. So we're going to add the stock little by little, and then you're going to end up with something pretty much like this. If you do have lumps in, you could easily just sieve the gravy and get rid of any lumps, which is going to be a lot more nice. Next up, can't have KFC without some veg. Unfortunately, I didn't have any corn on the cob at the time, so I just used some broccoli. Just a few sprays of fry light and then bang it in the oven with the chicken. Gas mark 6 for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then you should be good. Then here up is the best part of the meal, the mash. Just whack that in the microwave for about 3 to 4 minutes and you've got yourself some KFC. Absolutely lovely. The gravy is insane. If there was one thing I would recommend from this video, is just try the gravy. It is ridiculous. I can't tell how much it actually does taste like KFC.
So there we go, some amazing high calorie bulking meals for you to try out today. If you have enjoyed this cooking video and would like to see more, please let me know down in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.